Brandon's like, I guess I'm going the other way.
I clicked the button.
We're live.
We're live.
And you did it. Yeah! Welcome to the WAN show.
Hey, come on, welcome in, guys. I'm manning the computer today. I've never done it before. I'm very excited.
Yeah. We've got Ubisoft is killing game keys. It's a interesting title for that subject. We'll talk about that soon. Facebook, the future is private. Everyone believes that 100%. That's solid.
Yeah.
You want to do the next one?
And, well, we have two more. And the Intel Z GPU, it supports ray tracing, sort of.
Sort of.
One of them does. We'll get to it.
I mean, yeah. I guess it definitely does, but only one of them.
Yeah.
Also, we're not sure how we feel about this one, but I guess we'll talk about it later. Epic Games buys Psyonix. I almost said Psyonix.
Epic Games.
Psyonix, which is the Rocket League developers.
Yeah. They're just out here trying to screw up the ecosystem, you know?
I don't know what I think about this. I'm very confused. Anyways.
You can get your thoughts out after the intro. Boom! Look, I did it.
Yay!
That's you. No, that's you.
That's me.
Yep. Very excited.
You know what that thing on my shirt is supposed to be? It's supposed to be a horse. It doesn't really look like a horse. Way to go, Ed.
Hey, you know, I don't know. You only have a certain amount of bandwidth.
It would be really hard
pixels,
to do. I'm
know?
just trying to bug them.
And now, the first sponsor is Private Internet Access, VPN.
Yay!
They get your internet going real good. And Savage Jerky.
They get your stomach going real good.
You ever want to taste something good? Check them out. And FreshBooks. The freshest books you've ever seen in your life, guaranteed.
They get your books going real good.
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah.
And here we are.
We made it.
On the WAN show.
It is technically the WAN show. I was explaining that I am like half dead right now, but I'm technically here, which is good.
You look great.
Thank you.
You're doing great.
I feel like I'm dying.
I believe in you.
But
persevere.
Floatplane launched its new transcoding and uploading thing this week, which means pretty much nothing for all of you. But it means a lot for creators, and it means a lot for being able to bring more creators onto the platform. Also, maybe talk about that a little bit later on. But now, Ubisoft killing game keys?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I guess there's the reasoning for this is that, I mean, what's the problem with game keys?
So click on my Luke screen thing.
Luke screen.
Boom.
You got it. That's how you do the show. You click on. Okay, so Ubisoft is trying to prevent illegal resales of its games with a new method of selling digital PC game keys called silent key activation, or SCA. Not to be confused with the music.
The music, yeah.
Which is not
illegal
reason
game
for news
sales. No. Yeah. Or that. I haven't personally heard of this method, but apparently you go to an external website, you pick a game key, you pay them, you sign in with your Uplay account, and you have the game.
Yes.
Which is a little bit funky. There's been external game stores for a long time where you can get a key, and just when you're done checking out, you either get email the key or it just shows up right there, and you just copy paste it, throw it in the thing. You're good. This is a new thing.
And I guess there's been sort of legal issues with that where, you know, some resellers can manage to get their hands on game keys through perhaps illicit means.
Yeah.
And so this is a way to prevent that and kind of make sure everything is kosher and, you know, by the book.
Yeah.
So instead of like getting an actual key and getting that through a website, you go to a site and then you have to sign into your account, and then it does it that
So it
way.
like does authentication through the website instead of just throwing keys all over the place.
Right.
Because I know when the throwing keys all over the place thing sort of started pretty early on, people were buying keys in countries where the games were more heavily discounted due to the average income of that country. And then they were selling them to countries where your income was much higher.
Right.
So there was countries that would like get a discount because, like, you know what, it's kind of hard to afford these things in certain areas. So we'll let it be cheaper for you, and then people buy tons of keys there and resell them.
It's a little shady.
Yeah. There's been a lot of shadiness around that department.
So this method is supposed to make it harder for illegal game key redistributors to operate. Yeah. And the problem that I saw with it, that when I was reading about it, was that this now requires you to sign in to whatever site that you are getting the key from with your like Ubisoft account. So then they
It's
have
probably a like external authentic. I don't remember the exact name for it right now because I'm blasted, but it's probably not on alcohol, on lack of sleep. But it's probably a like external sign-on thing. It's probably okay.
right. It's probably okay.
Probably
because
okay.
I don't know anything about the development side. So all I can do is say that sounds kind of crazy.
It's like how you can use like Steam to sign into the Linus Tech Tips forum.
Which I don't do.
Right. But you could. I don't either, to be
Yeah,
fair.
I have my own account.
But you would still have your own account. You're just using it for authentication.
Yeah, but I don't want somebody to be able to buy games on my Steam account through the Linus Tech Tips forum, which I know you would do if you had the chance.
Okay, so I think what you're saying is my voice keeps cracking. I'm a wreck
No, I
right
don't.
now.
I don't know if it's actually an issue, but
So, but what you're saying, I think I'm gonna try to interpret for a second.
Interpret
is
for
that-
me.
Is that you're worried that you log in and authenticate, and then anyone could go on that website at any time and buy games
Right.
in the future?
And let me
Okay.
clarify that that's not necessarily my concern, but that is what I read that
No, that
some people
seems-
were having an issue with.
That seems valid if you don't have to log in, or you don't have to authenticate every time.
Right.
Because as has been proven time and time again, websites will be vulnerable and things will be stored in terrible plain text very commonly all over the place.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So that's a
I think that
security
happens like
issue.
once a month.
Facebook does that a lot.
With all of their different services.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great.
So 10 digital game distributors are doing it right now,
Oh.
including Fanatical and Gamersgate. Not Gamergate, Gamersgate.
What?
Gamersgate is a I've never heard of it, but apparently it's a
Me
game
neither.
distributor.
That's amazing.
While Green Man Gaming have their own equivalent tech in place. That's what that says. I don't know exactly what that means.
Okay. They probably had a similar setup already done.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm okay with it.
I forgot the thing was on my screen.
It is on your screen.
So yeah, sorry, go back to main.
I'll go back to main.
Basically, at the beginning of an article,
I have the power. I have the mouse.
at the beginning of an article, we jump to one of the
jump-
host screens really quick, just so people can see the article. Then
Real
we jump
quick.
back to us.
Oh, you guys don't want to see? They don't want to see it? I feel like that's important information.
For
You know what?
part of it.
I'm a Techland guy, okay? I'm not the WAN show guy. I respect your workfloa here, okay? I'll stay over here.
I don't know if I'd really call it a workflow. It's just like something we fell on top of after doing it for a while. I don't think there's any flow or plan actually put into it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's interesting. I'm not against it. I've always thought those websites were pretty kind of sketch.
Yeah, I mean,
be
I bought
honest.
some games keys from resellers, but every time I do it, I'm kind of like,
Yeah,
I feel a little
bad.
dirty, you know?
Am I doing something bad?
It's like, this is discounted a ridiculous amount. There's got to be a reason for it. But also, it's cheap.
It's also discounted a ridiculous amount, so here we go.
Yeah. So if there's a way for me to like be assured that this is like more legit, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because like the big thing is like making sure that, you know, a morally ambiguous sort of situation is kind of streamlined.
Less morally ambiguous.
Okay. Well, should we move on? I mean, I don't know. I don't really have any other thoughts about that. Do you guys have thoughts? I can. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not used to being able to look at the chat. I can't do it. I can't multitask. Can
I'm
you
gonna-
multitask?
Yeah.
I can't at all.
Yeah. So one random thing I'm going to say for Floatplane viewers, we're testing a new Cloudflare thing today, and it sounds like it maybe isn't working that great. So if it's super bad, I'm sorry the test isn't working out.
Uh-oh.
Maybe temporarily jump over elsewhere. Next up, though, we're going to do Facebook.
We're gonna do it.
We're going to do Facebook.
So Facebook had their F8 developer conference. I'm sorry. Oh, jeez. Sorry, Flowplane guys. So the F8 developer conference. This was kind of one of the big first times that Mark Zuckerberg was. We're going to Luke's screen.
There you
Boom.
go.
The future is private. So Mark Zuckerberg wrote a blog post a couple of weeks ago or a month ago or something like that,
Okay.
talking about like, all right, guys, you know what? Facebook has had a lot of these privacy gaffes. up till now, but you know what? Now we're committed to privacy. It's
No more
real.
goofs.
We're doing it this time. The future is private. And, I mean, there hasn't really been a horrible major privacy gaffe since he did that. But it's more like some news still kind of trickles out every once in a while that's like, oh yeah, back in 2016 they were doing this when they said they weren't. You know,
Yeah.
like storing people's passwords in a plain text file.
Well, wait, didn't that happen like literally weeks ago with Instagram?
See, I don't remember because I deal with this news all the time, but
Yeah,
I don't remember whether
yeah.
that was like, oh, we were just storing them like last
Here,
week.
go back to the main thing.
Go back to the main thing. See, you should have just done this. We thought this would be a fun idea for me to control it this time, but no. So we're gonna look it up.
April 22nd news article.
Yeah. But I think that might have been about them storing them previously. We'll find out.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that would make sense. Let's see.
Stored, past tense.
Well, yeah. I don't think they would say that when it's still currently
That's true.
happening.
That's true. You can't really trust them saying that we're not doing it now. That's a fair point.
They don't seem to specify for
Okay.
how long or a time.
Look,
or
I'm
anything.
as anti-Facebook as the next guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to defend.
Do you use
him.
it at all anymore?
I have not used Facebook for years. I
Oh.
mean, other than to like
But like,
for specific functions.
Yeah,
if
but,
I
like, you have an
Facebook
account.
Messenger somebody. Yeah, I have an account.
yeah. So like, I think the biggest problem with
What,
Facebook
do you not
right
have
now-
an account?
No,
You're
I
better
do.
than me?
I know I do.
Okay,
I do.
jeez.
I tried. I think I've deleted my account 3 times. My
Really?
voice keeps cracking. Every time I delete it, I come back. And it's never
But what do you
because
come
like
back
I
for?
want to, and I always begrudgingly come back. And it's usually because like I need to contact someone,
Yeah,
and the yellow pages isn't really a thing anymore.
but you're not going on there and like posting a status.
I don't post.
I don't do that
post.
posting
I don't
thing.
post. I use Messenger, and I
Yeah.
use a couple of the groups.
Right. I think I was in a group, and then I kind of like stopped going to the. Like I didn't really have a reason to be in the Facebook group anymore, and so I'm out of that group, and that was like my last
Yeah.
vestige
Yeah,
of
yeah,
connection
yeah,
to
yeah.
it. And so now I'm like,
I've
don't-
even got it set up so that I have an extension on, I believe it's Chrome and Firefox, where if I go to Facebook, it deletes the entire feed and just puts like a random quote there so that there is no feed in the middle and there's just your Messenger and your groups. That's it.
oh yeah.
It's great.
Well, actually, that segues really well into what we're talking about here. So at the F8 Developer Conference, one of the things that they focused on was they said we're redesigning Facebook around
Yeah.
groups, events, and like kind of features meant to help people meet up in real life. So there's like a meet people function and
Well,
stuff.
because they were doing some dating thing as well, weren't they?
Yep, there's dating. So maybe we should just like go through the notes and see if there's something here.
Yeah.
So at Facebook's F8 conference, Mark Zuckerberg pledged to transform the company's approach to privacy while revealing major changes to Instagram and WhatsApp. He acknowledged that the social media behemoths had much work to do to rebuild trust with the global community. I know we don't exactly have the strongest reputation. Very true. So they're going to roll out a redesigned site that's simpler, faster, more immersive, and puts communities at the center, like I said. So app users will notice immediate changes with a new desktop site expected in the next few months. And they're going to make it easier to switch between public spaces and private groups where users can engage with groups of people who share your interests. So, yeah, I totally track with that because I don't go on there for like social media use.
Yeah,
you
no.
know, I don't go on there to like see what are my friends posting. I go on there if I like have a specific function to do.
So, do you think this is them accepting that their audience is older?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I actually saw an interesting take on it, which was that because they're focusing more around groups and events, it might like make the whole kind of what do you call it? Bubble, like the
Okay. Yeah.
what do you call that? I can't. My brain can't
No, I
think
think
of the
bubble
word.
works. I think there's like another word that people normally put with it that I don't
Yeah.
remember, but bubble. Yeah.
But like, yeah, like you.
Social bubble. I don't know.
So only interact with the people that you want to interact with.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Which is fine, I guess, but like, yeah, it's an interesting take on it. So then you were saying the dating thing.
Yeah, there's also a dating thing. I think it's called Secret Crush, and one of the ways that it works is, well, I guess the way that it works is you select a certain amount of people that you want to be your secret crush, and then they get a notification saying that someone added them as a secret crush, but they don't know who.
Yeah.
And then if they happen to add you back out of nowhere, then it
you
tells
both know.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Tinder,
Yeah.
where if you like.
But there's no
swipe
like
right,
swiping. It's just your friends on Facebook.
Right, but that, I mean, I feel like it's even more interesting
Yeah.
because it's like someone you already know, and you're like, I wouldn't mind like dating that person.
So we
But
all
there's
know
no,
that,
like,
that,
romantic-
one dude who's just going to secret crush every single
Yeah,
person
every
they're
single one.
interested in
And then if
on
one of
Facebook.
them, if one of them secret crushes him back.
like, yes, I did it.
I mean, I'm married, but if
It's
I
an
was
interesting concept.
if I was single, this would be like pretty interesting. I'd be like,
Oh,
I didn't know Ashley likes me.
but you wouldn't unless you flagged everyone on your list.
Well, if I'd have
Or
to,
if you
I'd have
liked
to, I'd have to flag
them.
Ashley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And okay, one more interesting thing from the Facebook thing, the hiding likes.
Yeah.
So Instagram, they're doing this in Canada actually first.
Yeah. Actually, Canada is an extremely common testbed for mobile stuff
Oh yeah.
because we're extremely similar to Americans, but there's a lot less of us.
Right. So they don't have
if
to
you
screw
it all up, it's
Yeah.
like,
They're
just Canadians.
And if it is annoying, then we're like, it's okay.
it's fine. Thanks for the beta.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So I actually saw some people posted about this as well. Like some people are already experiencing it.
Yeah.
It's being rolled out.
Yeah.
So like if you are a regular user, you won't be able to see the number of likes that someone else's post has. But you will be able to see how many likes your post has, but you have to click through to see it. So like just in
not
the regular
there by
feed,
default.
it'll just be like liked by this person and others. And you won't see how many people had liked it.
So is this like a why? Like, is this a mental health move?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it's a good move, to be honest, because I think that,
I think it might be bad for business reasons. I think it might be good for like
yeah.
the mental health of the world reasons.
Well, as a business, do you need the public to see how many likes you got on one of your, like,
Well, no.
ads?
So I don't necessarily think so. But oh yeah, no, because you could still tell the business who's hiring you to wear their bathing suit that you got X amount of views.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
have access to, like, analytics for your
But
posts.
I think it would be harder for those businesses that want to advertise that way to shop around. Because you can't
for
externally
influencers.
see.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to, like, if you wanted to do business with an influencer, you'd have to, like, ask them for their analytics or
Yeah,
something.
ahead of time. And just like
Well-
hope that they're decently sized.
Well, it doesn't say anything about followers, so they'll be able to see, like, how many people have.
So
X
they just
amount
won't
of
know like
followers.
how active.
Yeah. And I think,
Ooh,
I
benefit
mean,
for older accounts.
from a mental health perspective, I feel like it's good for people to post things to social media and then not, like, have to
Yeah.
worry about getting.
Is it
like,
still
this
gonna
dopamine
notify
rush.
you?
If
of
someone
likes?
likes, I don't know.
Because I feel like
didn't
that's
he-
going to have quite a draw too.
I didn't see anything about that.
Oh man. We'll
Okay, should we prioritize this one or this one?
I think we gotta do the title.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. All right. Intel Z GPU to support ray tracing.
Yes. So at FMX, is that a? I'll go to your thing.
Oh,
Luke
job.
screen. See, I'm on
Perfect.
top of it.
Yeah.
So
10 out of 10.
Intel announced at. Do you know what FMX is? I've never heard of that before. Some
I
sort of
don't know what it
conference
stands
summit.
for, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
So Intel announced that their Z GPU architecture will support hardware acceleration of ray tracing. Now, this is for data center
Yes.
GPUs primarily. They haven't made any announcements about, like, their gaming graphics cards that they have coming out eventually. They haven't said anything about that, but we know. I mean, it is. I guess it's encouraging to know that at the architectural level, it supports that.
Yeah. Or at least that they're even like thinking about it, which isn't too surprising. But having it confirm is nice.
Now,
That's cool.
James wrote that this puts the architecture on par with Turing as far as DXR goes, and makes it superior to solutions that rely on software or GPU acceleration. So it's just basically saying its hardware acceleration is better than software acceleration.
Yeah.
Ray tracing for big budget movies like Pixar films is done traditionally on CPUs because they are 100% accurate. Unfortunately, they are also orders of magnitude slower. So, I mean, this is yet another one of these entries in the saga of Intel GPUs that I think that we're all trying to get excited about it. We're like, oh, how great would it be if we had another competitor in the space other than AMD and NVIDIA? But
because no offense, AMD isn't doing that great right now in that space. It's wonderful that AMD is doing fantastic in the CPU side of things. But it would be kind of nice if, like, AMD had to dual compete for a long time, but didn't have the money or the resources to really do it.
Right.
And Intel kind of does. So if it ends up being Intel that has to dual compete, and AMD's more like, yeah, CPUs are great.
That's morally better.
I think that would make more sense.
The strong should take the burden for the weak. AMD's been, AMD, you've been trying so hard, and we love you for
pushing.
That. You know, we love you for it.
I'm really happy that they've got a winner right now. Their CPUs are doing awesome.
Heck
which is really cool.
Ryzen 3000 generation coming soon.
Good stuff.
We got a Navi GPU.
Oh.
Supposed to come out by the end of 2019.
Not
7
super
nanometers.
confident.
Well,
personally,
the rumors and leaks and stuff that I saw indicate that it's going to be like a replacement for Polaris instead of Vega. So it's going to be like their lower power.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because like I've been like following this like all these Navi news and stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna take out like Turing or Pascal or whatever. And like,
nope,
it's gonna be low power stuff again.
Nada.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or that's what it looks like anyways.
That's really exciting though. I have a little bit of a hard time getting properly actually excited about like like things that are definitely not for consumers. There's stuff where it's like it's enterprise stuff, but you can get your hands on it and it's great. This is like data center hardware, so it's like okay, that's cool. That's definitely cool in a like, hey, technology and another company entering the space and all that kind of stuff kind of way. But it's not super likely that a bunch of people that I will interact with will get their hands on it, which is less cool. Yeah. And then it's if it ends up being a rumor that this is coming to consumer stuff, it'll also be hard for me to personally get excited about until I'm like, yes, it is actually definitely coming.
Well, you're talking about ray tracing on Intel GPUs.
Yeah.
See, this is what we know.
Dedicated hardware, I mean.
Well, we don't know this, but the PlayStation 5 is supposed to have ray tracing. That's what the system architect said. He's like, it's based on an AMD GPU and it's going to support ray tracing. So I'm like, if the PS5 does ray tracing, Intel better frickin' do it.
I saw your tech linked thing with like that sort of reaction. That was perfect. I forget
what I did.
It was like the ray tracing console master race. No. Ugh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right. Console master race, PC plebs? What?
Have you done tech news reporting through a what would you even call that?
Through a console lens? No.
No, but like for not an iteration of a specific type, like not the Xbox One X, not the Xbox One S, but the original Xbox One.
Oh, yeah.
Because like this is a much larger step than we got from the S to the X or from the One to the S.
Yeah, I think when I first started at NCIX, I think
was PS4 launching then?
Yeah, that was 2013.
Yeah, because I know it was around that line, but
I think they launched like that winter. Mm-hmm. So like I think one of the first Netlink dailies we did was about the Xbox One and PS4 launching.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
No, it gets a little wild because right when the consoles first launched, they usually actually like really competitive.
Right.
And everything gets a little awkward.
And they're like, which
for a
one's the winner?
While. Yeah,
which one's the winner?
PC has a challenger. Yeah. And then a couple of years go by and it's like,
oh, it's the PS4.
Get wrecked.
Oh, the PS4 is way more. Yeah.
It's fun though. I actually really enjoy new console launches because even It's cool to. It's a little bit harder to judge consoles compared to each other, so that's kind of fun because you have to do a lot of like more deeper dives because it's not as easy to like swap a component out and test different things.
Right.
But then it's also fun to see the PC space have really solid competition on terms of price and performance.
Right.
As the new console just drops, and you're like, ooh.
This is going to be a really interesting console generation launch because I feel like
GPUs are also really expensive right now. So is RAM.
GPUs are expensive, but also the like gaming ecosystem and the environment is kind of like streaming is becoming a big thing, and like the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro are like some of the most like PC-like.
And then with ray tracing coming out now, and as far as I know, both of the new consoles are going to have keyboard and mouse support.
Yeah, they already do, I think.
Yeah. So like, why wouldn't they still have that? So they have ray tracing, strong graphics, very like PC-like architecture, keyboard and mouse support.
Right.
they're just like prepack'd.
Yeah, they're just going to be
prepackaged computers you plug into your TV.
Right.
That only play games.
Well, and I think like I've hoped every time we report on something that Microsoft is doing, like with the Xbox ecosystem and PC gaming, like they've said so many times, they're like, we care about PC gamers and we want it. We want
you to
doing
better.
We want you to use the Xbox Live app on your PC instead of Discord or whatever. Like, come on, guys, we're adding Spotify support to the game bar on Windows 10. Like, come on. So like every time they make an announcement like this, I'm like, oh, do they actually care? Like, are they actually going to try to kind of unify these like Xbox and PC gaming ecosystems? Like, unify as in like you buy an Xbox and it basically acts as a PC, like a pre-built gaming PC or something. You know?
Yeah.
It would be cool if you could do that.
Running Excel on your Xbox, that'll be the day.
Yeah. I wanted all this time is Halo on PC.
It's coming, man.
I know it's coming.
Heck yeah.
I'm excited.
Speaking of all you've ever wanted, we should do the sponsors.
Yes, we should. So, speaking of which, the first one.
There you go.
FreshBooks.
FreshBooks.
You know, we couldn't do this show without our sponsors, guys, and we gotta talk about them because we love them.
FreshBooks is the super simple to use invoicing tool that actually does a lot more than just help you make beautiful, slick-looking invoices. It helps you track your time with their timesheet function, manage expenses, and keeps track of who owes you what. It also has a feature that tells you when clients look at your invoice for the first time, so you know if they're not responding to you just because they're trying to avoid you, or if they've actually seen what tried to bill them for. Yeah. Hey, client, please pay me for the work that I graciously did for you.
Where's my money?
The mobile app has all the functionality of the desktop app, which is great. So you can take FreshBooks with you wherever you go. You're not like, it's nice to work on a computer, but you don't have to do everything there. If you're on a job site and you need to do something really quick, you can do it, which is great. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to their support staff. You'll speak to a real human, no phone tree, no escalations, no return calls, just an answer, which is great. Visit freshbooks.com/WAN and enter WAN into the How Did You Hear About Us section when you sign up for a free trial. What? It's backwards.
That's it.
Yeah. It's right
Bam.
there.
Love FreshBooks. But you know who else we love? Savage Jerky.
Savage Jerky.
You want to look at this?
I do. What?
Their jerky is made with the best ingredients, guys, without nitrates or preservatives, with a goal to create a snack that is full of flavor and spice, but it's not bad for you.
Yeah.
It actually makes you stronger. Don't quote me on that. They've got 13 different flavors of jerky, like sriracha bacon, and maple buffalo bacon. Lots of bacon here. Big bacon fans. They also make barbecue sauce, hot sauce, and a spice rub for the shower. Not for the shower. It's for it's for meat.
You could.
I'm assuming. Or whatever. Technically, we're meat. Their Carolina Reaper hot sauce uses one of the hottest peppers in the world, dude. Hottest peppers. Use offer code LTT to save 10% on all of their products, including all of these. Delicious.
Have you had the Reaper one?
I did. I had it one time.
Are you into spicy stuff? Like,
I'm...
how'd it go?
I don't know if I should say that. Am I supposed to say I'm into it? I like spicy things.
Well, no, because they have like flavors all along the spectrum.
Right, yeah. These are good because the spice is kind of part of it. I'm not a huge fan of like taking spice, like hot sauce, and putting it on other things.
Okay.
If you give me a food and it is naturally spicy, I will eat that. 100%.
I find
like it.
English is really bad at explaining spice because they have like the mojo stuff, and it's like lime and cilantro and like
Oh,
all these other kind of things, and like it has spices.
like mojito?
I think it's pronounced the same way, but it's just mojo.
Is that the base? Is that the base word for
Mojito?
mojito?
I have no idea.
You said lime. I think a mojito has lime in it.
That's the defining. That's it.
Let me
based
know,
on the
guys.
lime.
Let me know if a mojito has lime in it. But first, huh?
No, go.
Do it? Is that what I do?
Yeah.
Private internet access. Do you want to do it?
One
I
of the
did
nice
the last
things
one.
about private internet access is it like doesn't, it's not that important. Because they all already have it.
Oh,
So
nice
good.
one.
Private Internet
Okay.
Access supports a variety of VPN protocols and types of encryption and authentication, allowing you to dial in the exact level of privacy you need. One of my favorite things about it, which isn't listed right there, but if something happens with the VPN and the VPN disconnects, it will cut out your internet. So there's no like. The VPN doesn't stop and then a bunch of packets get through unencrypted and unprotected. They cut everything down, which is actually super cool.
It's like when you get stabbed and then you put a bandage right on it right away. You don't lose anything important.
Sure, yeah, sure.
That's what I'm here for.
That's great.
The illustrations.
Heck yeah. They have apps for Windows, macOS, Android, iOS. It still says Linus. I don't.
Ugh.
It's Linux. And Google Chrome with support for several other platforms coming soon. They have over 3,000 bare metal servers in 44 locations across 28 countries. You can connect up to 5 devices at the same time, or, if your family members happen to be using those devices,
Oof. Under the table, you can kind of.
You don't have to expect them to turn it off, I guess.
Oof.
Apps include DNS leak protection and IPv6 leak protection. That's, I guess, vaguely what I was talking about before. And IP cloaking, hide your true IP address and geographic location. It was helpful if you're in the European Union and every country almost is trying to take away the internet from you. Or
They're mean.
South
Why would they
South
do that?
Africa, as far as I know, and a few other places. Check it out today at lmg.gg/piawan or
Piawan.
Piawan. Heck yeah.
Piawan,
Piawan.
my dude. Piawan, my dude. And don't forget it.
Oh my God. Are you excited for the new Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Oh yeah, they're making it.
They're
aren't
making
they?
another one.
I need to like
Bill and Ted
rewatch
3.
the first one. Oh,
There's 2.
there's 2. See, it's been. I think I watched the first one when I was like a little kid,
Yeah.
but I haven't like seen it since. So,
So
all I
good.
know is like Bill, Ted, or excellent.
Yeah.
People are gonna hate me. I'm sorry, guys. Look, I have a cursory knowledge of Bill and Ted. All right.
I'm pretty excited, which probably makes me old, but whatever.
Should we talk about LTX now, or should we talk about the thing you really love so much?
I went all the way up there because I was so excited, but we can talk about LTX. That's a good idea.
Well, there's some updates. I don't know if we talked about the updates last time.
What updates are there?
See those updates? They're bolded.
Oh,
They're bolded, guys.
I don't know if we talked about this.
Okay.
Updates, LTX 2019, just in case you didn't know, which would be surprising, DreamHack and Linus Media Group are coming together and making this awesome convention / huge LAN party in Vancouver at the Vancouver Convention Center. You should check it out. Website is not linked here. That's epic.
Pretty sure if you search LTX 2019,
It'll come up.
It'll come up.
It should. I think the SEO is pretty solid. They're organizing panels for the main stage, so they're wondering what you guys want to see discussed. Hit them up with ideas on the forum or on Twitter at LTX Expo. And yes, the X and Expo are redundant, but don't worry about that.
I'm upset.
As of this morning, so there's probably less now, there was only 16 BYOC tickets left.
Biox.
Bios.
If you want to Bioc, you better Bioc on over to the site and get a ticket, buddy.
Like, actually, because they're going to be gone. Snazzy Q from Snazzy Labs. That's super cool. And
Quinn
Hardware Canucks
Nelson.
are also going to be at LTX.
And Hardware Canucks, Dimitri
Yeah.
and Eber.
Yeah. That's
I
so
haven't
cool.
seen those guys. Well, I've never met Quinn, but I sort of know Dimitri and Eber. That's exciting.
Have you met them? You said you sort of know.
I sort of know. Like I've met them.
Okay, yeah. They're super cool.
I mean, I wouldn't say that we talk all the time.
Oh. I think Dimitri and I, we have each other on Facebook.
That's fun.
So there's like a, you know.
You guys
like,
get invited to each other's like Super Bowl parties?
No, because he lives way the heck away.
Yeah, that would be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could do telepresence.
Just like get him to put a little thing beside me. Hey, you're gonna watch the Super Bowl with me.
He's like, I have stuff to do. Stay there.
It's like really late for you, but
Stay in the computer. You live in there.
you don't get to sleep.
But yeah, come to LTX, guys.
It's gonna be great.
July 27th and 28th. Is that right?
That
It
is correct.
Sweet.
I'm super excited. My whole Floatplane team is coming in locally.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, we're doing the like meetup at that time, so we're gonna hang out after LTX, and everyone's gonna meet up for LTX. It's gonna be great.
You know, what'd be really cool is if we had an actual float plane. And I don't know why I'm suggesting it because I
We
know
have
it's
an
not going
RC
to happen.
one.
Really?
You haven't seen this?
Oh, like the computer thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun.
But there's also the Vancouver Convention Center can technically receive float planes. So I was running with this like idea for
Okay.
the problem is it was just there's no way the ROI on this would ever work. But I wanted Linus and I to fly into the convention on a float plane.
Riding on top of the wing.
Yeah. Speaking of crazy ideas, Epic Games buys Psyonix.
Here we go.
I was waiting
This is
for
where
a
it
good
gets
segue.
intense. Okay, so I've been wanting to talk about this too for a while.
Yeah.
Because I have feelings.
Me too. I don't know what
I caught
they
feelings
are.
over this.
Yeah. You want to hit me up?
Oh, I'll hit you up, dude. Because I know all about the streaming setup, and this is how you do it. Boom!
Boom. Done.
Psyonix is joining the Epic family. Oh, that's so great.
So they didn't just buy a game. They didn't just buy out the rights to platform a game.
Yep.
They bought a whole studio.
About the whole thing. So now, I'll temper the initial like kind of outrage, like by the fact that apparently the people who made Psyonix. This is what I read in a thing. The people who started Psyonix kind of already know a lot of the people at Epic Games, and they like have these like connections. So this isn't like a big giant company coming in and brute forcing, the company to join them
Because we've seen
with
that
money.
EA has done that a number of times.
Right. Although it might be that, I don't know, but that's
Right.
some evidence to the contrary.
Yeah.
So the big problem for me about this was that the initial announcement was kind of like vague. They're like, we're buying Psyonix, Rocket League is coming to the store, and in the meantime, they said, Rocket League will be supported on Steam. And thereafter, Steam users can look forward to continued support. But there's nothing like concrete that says like, everyone on Steam will get the same updates. There will be cross-platform support. Like you can play multiplayer still if you buy the game on Epic Game Store. Will you still be able to play cross-platform with Steam users? Like
There is an editor's note at the bottom of the article,
Yeah.
which says we want to clarify something for you,
I
which
saw that.
like isn't good enough.
That's
to
what I'm
be
saying.
super clear.
Yeah.
But it says we want to clarify for you after today's news. Rocket League is and remains available on Steam. Anyone who owns Rocket League through Steam can still play it and can look forward to continued support. That's I know exactly what you just said.
Right.
It's,
For how long?
Yeah. And like I'm sure it does, but this would be the time to clarify a lot better than a
Yes.
like 2-line thing at the bottom of an article. Does support include like feature updates? Which it almost certainly does, but they should spell that out.
And I think this is
They
the
should
problem.
leave nothing up to question.
This is one of the big problems that a lot of people, caught up in this Steam versus Epic Game Store fight have with Epic Game Store, is that they've kind of been like kind of wishy-washy about people's concerns regarding, there's not many features on Epic Game Store.
Yeah.
And, how long are these timed exclusives? Are they always exclusives? Are you going to keep doing this and like stealing games from other stores? Are you going to kind of stop eventually?
Like what's going on, guys?
One thing that I thought was interesting was that Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic Games, tweeted recently. I don't have the tweet here, but he
We can
tweeted.
go back to us.
Oh yeah, he tweeted recently that if Steam, I don't know if you saw this, if Steam committed to matching their developer revenue share, so Valve takes a 30% cut, I believe.
It's something pretty beefy.
Yeah. and
Epic Games takes
Epic Games only takes a 12% cut.
Okay, I wasn't
So-
sure. I thought it was 18, but you're probably right.
It might be 18. I forget. I'm pretty sure it's 88% to the developers.
12. Yeah, you're right.
Right. So if they're like, if Steam matches our revenue sharing model, we will stop with the exclusives. We'll stop it immediately and back off. That's what Tim Sweeney said on Twitter. And I think he
Dang.
could say that because he knows that Valve isn't going to do that. Because, like, to me, I see that and I'm kind of like, oh, all right, well, then all Valve has to do is just kind of match their revenue share.
Yeah.
But I think Valve has, like, too many things going on now. I've been talking a lot. What are your feelings?
I'm so conflicted.
Yeah, where are
we
you
were
on
talking
this?
about this a little bit before the show. I've tried to not think about this since I heard about it because I knew we were going to talk about it on the show. Even that thing that you just mentioned with the revenue share thing, like I've got tons of feelings about that too because Steam is kind of this like old
Right.
lethargic giant at this point. Like everyone
Yeah.
in the PC community, as far as I can tell, loves them, but realistically, they've just kind of existed forever and like
Yeah.
not done a ton for quite a while.
And I think that's what's so
Just
interesting
made an obscene amount of money and
Yeah.
not done a lot with it.
about this whole situation is that I feel like Valve has kind of grown a bit complacent.
Yeah.
Like, you have
Completely
EA
agree.
and Ubisoft, and Activision Blizzard, like, making their own launchers.
And Bethesda and
But they're
and,
not
like
really making an attempt to kind of come at Steam. They're just like, hey, our games are on our platform.
They just want their
And a
own
lot
thing.
of the times, our games are also on Steam. Ubisoft sometimes still releases Ubisoft games on Steam.
yeah.
But Epic Game Store is coming out here and being like, we need to shake this up. And I feel like it's kind of conflicting because on the one hand, you know that Steam has kind of become complacent.
Yeah.
And that they have all these really cool features and they've been there since the beginning,
Yeah.
basically.
And like they do, to be clear, they have way better features than
Oh,
the
yeah.
Epic Games Store.
For sure.
Like it's a better situation over there.
Yeah.
It's just they've been around forever,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of these features are pretty old. And some of the newer features that come out are not that substantial.
Right.
Like
It definitely feels like Valve does the minimum viable
yeah,
thing that they need to do in order to not make people horribly mad at them.
yeah.
And I think this is really well illustrated by the fact that we don't have Half-Life 3 yet.
Yes.
And I'm upset.
Because they didn't need to. Because like,
I
we make like 30% of what everybody else does.
Yeah.
So whatever. We'll just make tons of money.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Let's not worry about it.
They're like, let's make another Dota card game.
To add some hats.
I want to get over it. I want to get over Half-Life 3. But here's the thing. Oh, this leads well into another thing. Did you see the Valve Index?
Yeah.
So, like, because they have a flagship VR game apparently coming out
yeah.
with the Index.
Yeah. But what does that mean?
It's the worst
Well,
because
see,
it might be
could
Half-Life VR,
It could be really cool.
but it won't be.
But then, and if it was Half-Life VR, is it actually going to be any good?
I'm upset, Luke.
It might be good.
I'm so upset.
I don't know. I didn't get an index. I don't know how that makes me feel.
What do you mean?
I'm
Oh,
very
you didn't
conflicted
pre-order
right
it?
now. Well, it
'Cause
sold out
you've
like
been to the-
immediately.
You're the VR guy.
Yeah, but it was just gone.
Yeah, I think in 15 or 20 minutes it sold
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
I was busy.
I mean,
I'll probably get it eventually, but like,
yeah,
it's
we'll
crazy.
probably, I mean,
I suspect Linus Media Group will get one.
hopefully.
I'll try that out.
Hopefully.
But anyways, I think
It's just so
the
frustrating.
cross-platform thing with Psyonix and Rocket League will be fine. My
Mm-hmm.
reasons for that is because they support such a wide variety of cross-platform already.
Mm-hmm.
They support cross-platform friends lists, as far as I know. There was a fairly
Yes,
recent
well,
update that
Psyonix does.
yes, that's
Yeah.
what I meant. There was a fairly recent update that stepped away from the Steam friends list, which is maybe not that surprising anymore. I was actually pretty happy they did it because
Maybe they did it because of this.
I kind of think they did because I think they were prepping themselves for that,
Right.
and I think they should have leaned on that more in their article thing. It should have been like, yeah, Steam's going to be supported. We separated the friends list from the Steam layer so we
Yeah.
could work on the Epic Game Store, but if you notice, you're on Steam and it's working, so we made sure that's fine. Like that probably would have been a good idea.
Yeah.
But I think it'll keep working for everyone. I love to watch. I only play the ice hockey mode because I'm weird. but I love to watch
Yeah.
like various Rocket League creators. Sunless Khan
Sunless
is
Khan.
amazing.
I was going to ask you if you watched
He's
him.
great.
Yeah.
I also watch like Lethamir and a bunch of other guys.
I don't know those guys.
He's more on the competitive side of things.
Oh, okay,
Sunless
nice.
Khan's just a beautiful human being.
He's got
But
a smooth voice.
he does.
Sultry.
Rocket League essays, if you could imagine that it's possible. But anyways, I love watching all that kind of stuff, even though I don't play with the soccer ball. I just play ice hockey at a fairly high level, if I might say.
No,
But,
that's
but this does bother me because I've been playing Rocket League relatively seriously for years. And it's scary when something you care about a lot is getting potentially
Yeah.
touched. What I'm hoping for is Steam side of things. I mean, it's going to leave the Steam store, but outside of that, I hope it just doesn't get affected. And I hope that it going to the Epic Games Store and it being in the news because of this buyout and all that kind of stuff is going to boom its popularity.
right.
Because while there's definitely still a strong community around Rocket League, it could use a little bit. It's been out for quite a while.
That's one of the
Could use a little
strong.
boost.
That's one of the strong points of this acquisition.
Yeah.
One of the few rays of. See, this is the thing. It looks so depressing until you kind of look into it and you're kind of like,
It could be
yeah,
good.
okay,
It
there's
could
that,
be
and
good.
then they'll probably be fine. Yeah, like Epic Games has this like obscene amount of money
Yeah.
somehow. I guess they just have like
Fortnite.
buckets of money to pay off people to be exclusives, but that money is going to help Psyonix
Hopefully.
kind of like inject some more life into their esports
Yeah.
ambitions, which is good.
That would be fantastic. I love Rocket League esports. It's one of my favorite things to watch esports wise. I used to love watching StarCraft.
Oh yeah.
And I'd stay up till weird hours in the morning and watch GSL and watch live Korean games, and I was super into it. And
Right
then
on.
StarCraft kind of died a little bit. And then I'm kind of into Rocket League. I mostly like watching the YouTube videos, but
Right.
I have enjoyed watching Squishy Muffins and all those crazy guys. But I don't know. I hope it goes well. I wish them the best, even though it makes me a little salty. I'm not happy that it's leaving Steam.
Yeah.
Because if one of my friends wants to get into it, it's usually the path of least resistance to be able
Right.
to get them into it on Steam. If I have to start getting people to install the Epic Games Launcher, that is going to be a problem.
I will say that like because this particular instance isn't as like to me it doesn't seem as horrible of a proposition because Rocket League Psyonix has already done the work to
Cross-platform,
get that
all that
cross-platform
yeah.
friends list working. So like if they're like, oh, I want to buy Rocket League, and then they just go to the Rocket League site, and the way they do that is by downloading the launcher,
download
and they
this
do
game,
that,
yeah.
and then they just come in and they tell you their username, and then you add them within the game. If that still works and all the cross-platform stuff works fine, it's like,
It's not the worst.
okay, sweet, but like Epic Games needs to make sure that they do this for every game that they do
Yes.
this to, you
Yeah.
know, and that's the fear, I think.
Bit of a kicker.
That they're
Another
gonna-
thing
Yeah.
that I want to consider here is Rocket League, again, made quite a while ago, still doing pretty good. And I mean, their season passes, hopefully those are doing well. I play the game so freaking much that I buy the season pass because I'm like, my $1 per hour in this game right now is absurd. You
Right.
guys can take a little bit more of my money.
Yeah, there you go.
That's fair. I'll vote with my wallet in the direction that most people don't, I think, and try to support the thing because I believe in the thing. But I can't imagine they're doing amazing.
Psyonix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the ingest of money is going to hopefully increase long-term support for the game, which we've kind of discussed already. But it's also probably just good for the creators.
Right.
I haven't heard of Psyonix working on necessarily anything else. I could be ignorant here, but I think this is kind of all they got.
This is their
their thing.
one trick pony.
Yeah. So I
One
mean,
trick rocket car.
if it sometimes if you want the thing to survive, you got to do some stuff that's a little uncomfortable. So I don't know.
Ain't that the truth? And you know what I love about Rocket League 2 is that it seems like it doesn't have like mechanics. It has mechanics that you don't see in any other game. Like it's not like it's a MOBA, where there are 18 different MOBAs that all are the same.
Yeah.
Rocket League is Rocket League. There is no other game like it. So if that like ecosystem can survive
Yeah.
through an influx of cash from evil Tim Sweeney, if
Yeah,
Darth
like there's-
Vader came to you and said, "Hey, I got a lot of money," that's Darth Vader. I got a lot of money, bud, and it'll feed your family for a year. Would you
And
take
your family's starving?
it? Would you take it?
Such a weird analogy, but I love it. I don't know. Very, very interesting thing.
Yeah. Do we have are we talking about different things now, or?
No, I think we're sort of done.
Here's one last question.
All right.
If Half-Life 3
Yeah.
is a VR
Was
game
exclusive
and it's
to
an
the
exclusive
Epic
Index,
Store.
The Epic
Sorry, continue.
Epic Games buys the rights to Half-Life. Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
They just dropped
would
so
be
much money.
that would
They're
be
just like, whatever.
Such an interesting alternate universe proposition. Like they buy the rights to Half-Life, we get Half-Life 3, the thing that Steam and Valve fans have been wanting for years, and they've got worked up to hate Epic Games. They're like, oh, they're the worst. Oh, we hate them so much, and they're like, but we have Half-Life 3.
It's not even that they bought the rights to it. They just funded the entire project.
Yeah, and it gets made, and it's good.
Yeah. That'd be
What would you
interesting.
do?
It'd be interesting to see how
What
people
would
react.
you do?
Yeah. Sorry, what was your question though? Something with the index?
I got sidetracked. You changed it into something. I didn't know where I was going with it.
Diverted the heck
but
out
you
of that
made
train.
it. That was brilliant. Would you buy it?
The index.
If the Epic
Oh,
Games Store had Half-Life 3 as an exclusive.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
Depending, obviously, I don't think every human on the planet has to buy it, but I think I would have to. Just the amount of pure curiosity I would have to.
I don't think it's gonna be I really want it to be, but I don't think it's gonna be Half-Life 3. I don't think the flagship VR game that they're gonna release is Half-Life 3, or even in the Half-Life universe.
I think it could be really cool if it was a Portal thing.
Probably, or a Left 4 Dead 3 thing or whatever,
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead VR. But I think that honestly, I think that for Valve, the Half-Life ship has sailed. I don't think we'll ever get it. But this is so annoying because every time this news comes up, I'm like,
oh, maybe.
Please.
And they like that and hate it at the same time. Yeah. Because I know Gabe Newell has kind of openly said this is annoying. But at the same time,
Gabe Newell has said Half-Life is annoying.
Well,
Shut up about it.
the community constantly being like, hey, give us Half-Life 3.
We want that thing that you said you were working on and they're definitely going to give us, and then you gave up on.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up about that.
Leave me alone. I'm rolling in all my money.
I love money.
Yeah.
Oh, my money. More money. It's like rolling on the floor at his house. I'm Mr. Gabe Newell. I'm the god of PC gaming. Please me.
Oh my goodness. I think with that, the show's probably over.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How can you top that?
I don't think I
sorry.
can. Yeah.
Sorry, I got carried away.
No, that was
This
perfect.
isn't tech linked. Okay, guys.
You get to have a little bit free form.
Is there an outro?
Yeah, you run the intro again. It's the same thing.
You just run the intro again?
Super creative. Yeah.
I mean, TechLink doesn't have an intro or outro, so I shouldn't talk.
There you go.
Yeah. Does Swamps give you swamp butt?
I think that's quicksand.
Does quicksand give you quicksand butt?
Probably. I suspect so.
All right. Well,
You gotta whip a bit.
what do I gotta do?
The sponsor.
Oh, the sponsors again.
Yeah.
Hey, here's fresh private internet access.
Yeah, when?
Don't.
That's the wrong link, actually. That probably works, but
That's not my fault.
no, it's not. You're correct.
Okay, well, in that case, Savage Jerky
Yeah.
comes in to sub. Love
Yeah.
them so much and love you too.
Aw.
I was talking to the audience.
Wow.
Freshbooks.com/WAN.
WAN.
The WAN Show.
The WAN show.
The one and only.
The Obi-Wan show.
And now you stop?
Yes.
See you later.
Bye.